Hey there, I'm Waffles the Asian Yenbear, and I did this before a few months ago for the rest of 2021. And now it's January, and I'm going to tell you when you're probably going to want to summon for the rest of 2022 on JP and Global Dokkan. I've collected 4 years of data on which banners have come out in Dokkan, and they generally follow a pretty standard pattern. So if you're new to Dokkan, as in you started sometime in the past year, this information is one of the best things you can learn, and it's something that I wish had been more easily accessible when I first started. We're going to go month by month for both Global and JP, and then I'm going to summarize both at the end. So if you want to skip to the summary, head to the timestamp on your screen. And I'm not going to cover most of the yellow coin LR banners, as I do feel that you should skip them if you're not a whale, but I will mention any particularly notable ones. And of course, as I am predicting for the entire year of 2022, some of this is viable to change, especially for Global, since I do like throwing things out of whack sometimes. But let's jump into it. January. By the time I release this, one of the best banners in the game will have already come out on Global and JP, the New Year's Step Up banner. This is a must summon, and it comes every year on December 31st or January 1st, depending on your time zone. It comes out on both versions, but it is not simultaneous. That is an important thing to know. So JP will get it before Global, and the banners will be slightly different. You want to have 600 stones saved up for this one, as you're guaranteed multiple Dokkan Fests, multiple category leaders, and multiple LRs. It is a really good banner for anyone who isn't a whale. And for JP, we're also going to have a New Year's dual Dokkan Fest, but these tend to be a little mediocre compared to other units that get released in the same year. Plus, they also get featured on a lot of other Dokkan Fest banners throughout the year, so I do usually recommend skipping these. For Global, we tend to get a filler Dokkan Fest banner from whatever hasn't come out yet from the JP side. In the past, it's usually been an underwhelming or defensive unit, so you can usually skip this one. The next one on the list looks like it's going to be STR Super Vegeta, which definitely defies the trend, but he should be coming back on another banner, so you're free to skip this on release. February. This is a big month for JP, as it's the yearly anniversary. As such, you end up with a few must-summon banners. You get a dual Dokkan Fest, usually filled with great units, as well as the new Dokkan Fest LRs. You also get a really big multi that gives you a guaranteed LR at the end, usually with pretty decent rates of pulling another LR along the way. The anniversary gives you enough tickets to get one of those multis for free, but they usually also offer a Dragonstone version as well, which can be a good idea to get another guaranteed LR. Following that, we tend to get a TOP LR banner, which for those of you guys who are new, TOP just means we get 2 featured LRs on it. And as far as normal LR banners go, they aren't bad, but they are still skippable. For Global, we really don't get much in February. We get a miscellaneous Dokkan Fest that doesn't really follow any particular pattern alongside a miscellaneous LR banner. Usually that's going to be a skipping month. But March brings with it Saiyan Day in the middle of the month, which is a special day for both Global and JP, where we get the same Dokkan Fest banner with a brand new unit. Now the quality of this unit has ranged a lot over the years, but it is good to be on the lookout for this banner, as it can be a pretty solid summon sometimes. Both sides also get an extra Dokkan Fest banner at the beginning of the month, but JPs can usually be skipped. While the new unit released isn't necessarily bad, it often gets forgotten about by the end of the year. However, Global is a different story. The past 2 years have come with very strong and very meta-relevant units that have had pretty decent banners. We've had both STR Cooler and STR Bojack in the slot, so I do recommend having some stones set aside for whatever banner comes in early March. If I had to guess just based on the current JP Dokkan Fests, I would say this will be Tech Android 17 and 18. April is a filler month for both sides. JP usually gets a random Dokkan Fest, although the past 2 years have been waifu units, and both 2019 and 2020 were Global firsts, but Global kind of stopped having those in 2021, so I expect we'll probably just get another waifu unit. This is probably going to be skippable. On Global, we tend to get the dual Dokkan Fest that JP got for New Year's, but as was the case on JP, these are still skippable. Thankfully, things pick back up in May as both sides share the Golden Week celebration. Golden Week is a special week in Japan that houses 4 national holidays inside of it, so gacha games tend to have pretty good celebrations, and now that it's celebrated on Global 2, all Dokkan players get to enjoy in the festivities. The Golden Week celebration comes with a new dual Dokkan Fest, usually with pretty good units that have a lot of staying power. While certainly not as good as the anniversary or the upcoming worldwide celebration units, these tend to be good for quite a while. In fact, even the 2020 Int Gotenks still finds a lot of use on Super Battle Road teams. This is usually a must summon for both sides. June on Dokkan tends to be another slow month. JP gets a filler Dokkan Fest, which is usually a pretty defensive unit, but either way, it's big skip hours for that. For Global, this actually is the month before our anniversary celebration, and unlike JP, Global tends to offer discounts occasionally on banners. Typically, this is where we get the banner JP got in March before Saiyan Day, which is usually a skip. However, the developers seem to know that, and they often offer a 100 to 110 stone step up that guarantees you a featured unit at the end. If you have a stockpile saved up for the anniversary, this can actually be a pretty good deal. After the yawn that is June, both sides turn things up to 11 for July. JP gets the Tanabata Wish celebration. They come out with a new Dokkan Fest LR on a decent banner. This is usually a hot take whenever I say it, but this banner is actually okay to skip. The units are not really necessary, and most JP players are gonna want to have stones saved up for September. That being said, the advice I give in any part of this video or in any of my other videos is how I think you can get the best value out of your stones and walk away happy, since we're all kind of gambling every time we summon. But if the unit is a character you like or a character you really want, of course you should summon. I don't know you, I don't know what you like, all I know is which banners tend to provide the most objective value, not counting any personal biases. There's also another banner that comes out here that has the new Dokkan Fest LR, the 2 new anniversary LRs from February, and some older Dokkan Fest LRs. While that sounds pretty good on paper, it does tend to be a banner with a ton of featured units. I'm talking 20 plus. I never recommend this banner, as it's unlikely you'll be able to pull any specific unit you want, but again, this tends to be tempting for others. I would strongly recommend against it though. And JP also has a Part 2 Yellow Coin LR unit, and this one is actually notable as they tend to use this to introduce power creep into the game. LR Tech Jiren in 2020 was indicative of a base percentage increase to boost everyone's stats. LR Janemba in 2021 is super defensive while also just being able to nullify certain attacks, which would certainly be seen a lot more later. The issue is, as they're some of the first to introduce the concepts, they tend to have pretty clear flaws, and they become a little more outclassed by the end of the year. They are very impressive upon release, but I think you're going to be okay skipping this. Now Global, you guys get everything JP did in February, but with a bonus: discounts and tickets. It's even more worth it to summon on the already amazing Dual Dokkan Fest, since now you can spend less stones to summon more. The TOP banner is probably still skippable though. August is a bait month for both sides. JP gets a pretty good Dokkan Fest around this time, which I do think is worth looking at, or at least setting aside a few stones to try your luck. Last year we had STR Super Vegeta, and the year before that was Tech Ultimate Gohan, both of which are still top tier units. In addition to that, JP gets one of its yearly Rising Dragon Carnival banners, which essentially is just a banner where you have twice the chance of pulling SSRs, and they have a bunch of LRs unfeatured. While this does sound good, both sides get a much better version of this in December, so skip this. On the global front, we tend to get whatever banner JP got in April, so probably a waifu banner. It's usually best to skip, as most players will still be recovering from the anniversary, and you're gonna need some stones for the next month. When September comes around, it brings with us the worldwide celebration, also sometimes called the download celebration. This is the second best celebration of the year behind the anniversary, but they are pretty close. This one happens simultaneously between Global and JP, and we start off by getting a nice rerun banner. You get a currency called Memorial Stones based on how many stones you've spent over the past year, and it's not worth summoning extra just to get more of these Memorial Stones, but they are a nice bonus. You can then use the stones to get tickets to summon on a banner that contains a lot of Dokkan Fest units from all of the previous years, although usually nothing that came out in 2022. That's pretty much a free banner, and most players can usually pull at least one unit from a banner that they skipped in the past. And on top of that, we get another Dual Dokkan Fest with brand new Dokkan Fest LRs. Usually these are top tier units with fantastic featured characters, and it is absolutely a must summon. We also tend to get a TOP banner at the end of this, but like the one from the anniversary, this is usually skippable. Then when it comes to the spookiest time of the year, JP has nothing but filler. This is a skipping month, but it is the start of JP's short dry season. This is a time when you want to conserve stones on JP, as once things hit January, you're going to be back in the cycle again. Global tends to give us two Dokkan Fest banners though. One is a unit that's new to Global and is usually more defensive, while the second banner is a special Halloween rerun banner containing some of the best Dokkan Fests from the past year. I would recommend skipping the defensive banner, and the Halloween one can be okay to summon on if you have a lot of stones saved up. November brings with it another simultaneous celebration, but before that, JP tends to get a pretty good Dokkan Fest. I recommend keeping an eye on this, but probably skipping since you'll need to conserve stones. Global gets the new Dokkan Fest LR that JP got during Tanabata, so that can sometimes be okay to summon on. But like with JP, it's probably a skip. One important thing to note though is that Global does not get the overstuffed banner yet, the one with 20 plus featured units. That comes in December. But then, around mid-November, both JP and Global get the Dragon Ball Heroes collab event. This tends to be a bit different than other celebrations that happen simultaneously. The units are not absurdly powerful, but they come from the Dragon Ball Heroes franchise, which is a non-canon fan game and kind of an anime that puts together crazy combinations and transformations, so you get some really fun characters. 2021 brought us Super Saiyan God Trunks. Additionally, the banner itself is guaranteed featured every multi with characters that are exclusive to this time of the year. While it's certainly not necessary for players who are just trying to min-max their accounts, I do recommend summoning on this one as it tends to be pretty fun and you're guaranteed at least something decent every multi. And finally, we get to December. If you're watching this towards the end of 2022, how did I do so far? Let me know in the comments. But JP starts December with a filler Dokkan Fest that can sometimes be pretty good. It really does vary in quality. But then they follow it up with one of the best banners to hunt LRs on, the Divine Dragon Carnival. Essentially, this is the same kind of double rates banner as JP had in August, but it also features a brand new LR, which greatly boosts your chances of pulling an LR every multi. In 2021, they even featured two LRs, which was just crazy. The reason I say it's worth it to skip yellow coin banners is partially because we can expect that we'll get this at the end of the year, and also partially because there are a decent amount of guaranteed LR summons throughout the year. And then Global will also get this banner, but sometimes it is slightly different. It depends on if they want to release the new unit simultaneously or not. But before that, Global gets a Dokkan Fest, usually one from the Universe Survival Saga. On top of that, they also get the overstuffed Tanabata banner for Christmas, but you can probably skip both of these. The big December banner is the Divine Dragon Carnival, and knowing that the New Year's step up is right around the corner, as the pattern repeats again. So to recap, if you're on JP, you want to summon in January for the New Year's step up, February for the Anniversary Dual Dokkan Fest, possibly March for Saiyan Day, May for the Golden Week Dual Dokkan Fest, usually August because we get a good Dokkan Fest there, September for the Worldwide Celebration, November for Dragon Ball Heroes, and December for the Divine Dragon Carnival banner. And if you're on Global, summon in January for the New Year's Step Up, March for the usually good Dokkan Fest before Saiyan Day, May for the Golden Week Dual Dokkan Fest, sometimes June for the special discount, July for the Dual Dokkan Fest, September for the Worldwide Celebration, November for Dragon Ball Heroes, and December for the Divine Dragon Carnival. Anyway, I hope this helps. If it did, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. You can even comment and let me know if there are any other topics you want me to cover in the future. You can check the pinned comment or the description for my other social media links and channels, and I'll catch you all next time. Have a good day, a good week, a good life, and happy summons. Goodbye.